What's going on, everybody? We are doing one of our just kind of pop-up lives, talking a little bit about the news, what's going on here in Orlando. I hope you had an amazing 4th of July if you're here in the United States. I'm actually going to bring up a friend of mine, Chase Farmer. What's going on, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
So Chase Farmer actually helps us run the Orlando Reel, the website, the socials. So you've probably seen him on there if you follow us over on Instagram. But I thought he and I would kind of riff on some of these stories together, obviously answer some of the questions that you guys have, because that's my favorite thing to do is answer what you guys have questions about, whether it's real estate, life in Orlando, what's going on here. Dude, so where have you been lately? I know you're going around filming. You get to taste all the cool stuff around Orlando.
I do.
What's like been like your favorite thing you've got to try over the past month or so?
I would say, and it's still in recent memory, but also we had to go back like right after filming. So we went to Chicken Fire the other day, and I don't know if you watched it, but I in the video I burnt my mouth super hard. I love spicy food, but I got it medium, and it was just so hot. I got a chicken sandwich from there, and it comes with like coleslaw on it. It's all like homemade and
Yeah.
everything, and it was so good. Like, even though I love hot stuff, so I was
Yeah.
eating it and like burning my face, but I couldn't stop eating it. So we literally went back on Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember, and we had to go back and get more.
Oh man. So what's so awesome about that? And by the way, Farmer George meet Chase Farmer. That's kind of wild. So yeah, our Lake Nona listing did go pending. We've got another one going on the market here shortly as well. But yeah, it's funny what happens like when you price it the way that it should, things still sell relatively quickly. So going back to your the chicken place, what I love about like some of the stuff that you're finding are like these little strip mall kind of like seemingly holes in the wall, but have like these amazing fan followings. What was the other one we did? Like pom poms?
You went to Pom Poms. I haven't been yet.
Dude, it's so good. I had the Thanksgiving meal and it comes in a sandwich. And I was like, there's no way. I'm not really into tea, but the guy that I went with was like, we got to come. And it's like Pom Pom's tea and sandwichery. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to like this. And I left like, I can't wait to go back. So there's a lot of cool things like that here in Orlando.
Yeah, lots of little pop ups.
Let's say hi to some people. We got Robert from South Carolina. What's going on? We got Laura from England catching this live by fluke. That's kind of the point. You know, we're just doing these little pop-ups, saying hi to everybody. NYC Iron, he's also a client and a longtime viewer. Thanks for hanging out. Off to Disney. What's up from the UK? We got a strong UK following here in Orlando. So let's talk a little bit about that. Actually, just people owning second homes here. So we got a story out of Inman News, but it came out a lot of different places. Airbnb makes changes to summer release after hosts complain. And so we have a ton, as you know, Chase, like a ton of short-term rentals here, especially in like the Reunion, Kissimmee, Davenport market. And so Airbnbs are big business in general, like where we've got people from all over the world buying them here, right? Have you stayed in an Airbnb before?
I've stayed in plenty. I haven't stayed in any in Orlando, but I look through constantly as just like a short getaway because there's so many awesome ones with like arcades and heavy theming, like all sorts of stuff. And they're pretty affordable.
They are. And I think that's why they caught on, right? Like if you've got a family of 5 and you need to get 2 hotel rooms, it's way cheaper to go get an Airbnb, even if you're off site, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Brooke? Good to see you. You got people from El Paso checking in. And so we've got this story from Airbnb. Basically, what they did was some of the short-term rental investors saw basically their bookings dropped because Airbnb took back how people could actually advertise and what they were able to call it. And if you think about it, like you just mentioned, like the whole theming of it, if it's the Star Wars house or the Tangled house or whatever it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Airbnb changed the way that these short-term rentals can actually be advertised. And so people saw bookings drop, and it really went back to just like numbers, like per room booking numbers. And that was it. It wasn't able to be like flashy. And so people were getting rightfully upset about it. And it seems like right before the 4th of July push, they were able to change it back and came up with what they said. We suggest limiting your title to 32 characters, writing your titles in a sentence case, avoiding emojis and symbols. So kind of took away some of that like playful nature that I think a lot of Airbnbs are known for. No. So I don't know if you guys own an Airbnb, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Have you seen kind of things change? I mean, I know like, what's the other one? VRBO people use quite a bit. Interesting for sure. A lot of our people moving here. This is one that one of our agents brought up to us. Do you know about this yet?
Oh,
Skyline Chili.
so I've never been to Skyline Chili, but I see like TikToks and reels of people going there all the time. I ended up following them and like I've been keeping up with them. Also, if you go to like Publix or whatever, you can see they have like their chili for sale at the store in a
Do they
can.
really?
Yes, but I don't want to eat it out of a can. I just want to go to a Skyline Chili.
So here we go. We're opening a Skyline near Orlando. The store is targeted to open by early 2023. So put Skyline on your vacation itinerary. Owners Daniel and Wendell Hunsucker. Yeah. Anyways, Flamingo Crossing. Oh, that's right outside of Disney, right? Disney owns Flamingo Crossing. Yeah. So this is going to be super, super close. Unfortunately, close for me because I will be going there often. But yeah, shout out to Susanna who brought this to our attention.
I feel like Orlando is a hub now for just all of these fast food chains that are in local areas and within other states, right? Like we had Portillo's come in. We got the first, what is it? Right next to Portillo's, there's a White Castle.
Yep.
And what we have, not Church, Cane's. We have Raising Cane's coming.
Yep.
It's just like we're gonna be the hub for every fast food place.
Yeah. So if you're like from somewhere else in the world, like we have something here in Orlando that makes it feel like home, right? And so it's funny to me when people from like Ohio come down and they're like, I want to see like where's Red Robin? I'm like, you have Red Robin at home. You do not need to have Red Robin when you come to vacation. But you know, whatever. They go with what they know. But this is cool. I mean, Skyline Chili, at least it's different. It's not like another burger place, right?
We'll get in and out eventually.
Well, hopefully we'll see. All right. So Carol asks, on I-4 going towards Celebration, there's a large white building on the right-hand side. What is that building? So you said on I-4 going towards Celebration. So you could be coming from Orlando or coming from Lakeland, one of the two. But if you're talking about the new white building that's going in, that is Celebration Point. There's like a Publix going there. There's a nail salon, like all the kind of like creature comforts that anybody would want that Celebration doesn't already have. Because Chase, like, you know this, you go to Celebration and it's actually not a lot in the bubble to like, you know? And so they're actually creating a lot more like stuff up and down there. I think there's like 15 or 20 different shops on top of Publix and I think a Walgreens. So if you live in Celebration, now all of a sudden you don't have to leave the bubble. That's what that white building is that I think that you're talking about.
I love that area, even though it is like small. I think that's what the pull of it, right?
Yeah. It feels quaint. I got tagged on Instagram this morning. An agent friend of mine from Sarasota, she was up and had a closing in Celebration, believe it or not. And I don't know why she drove that far to go to to closing, but here we are. And she's like, Ken, do you know about this town? I was like, yeah. I used to live there and know tons about it. We've got a lot of clients there. It's kind of wild. Laura says, if a higher price house has been on the market for a year without shifting in price, can it really be considered serious about wanting to sell? That's an amazing question because like, I feel like 3 months ago or 6 months ago, sellers could have listed their house for whatever they wanted and it would eventually sell. In today's market, if something doesn't actually go under contract after a month, it's probably overpriced or the condition is really bad. Which if the condition's bad, it's probably overpriced as well. So yeah, we're seeing that. But dude, I mean, we're selling a lot of houses on our team. We're like 42 houses, I think we're closing this month.
I know that we've already beat, last year for, what we've done.
Yeah. It's kind of
we're just hitting July.
Yeah. No, I think we've already helped almost 300 families buy or sell in Orlando, which is super, super cool. Ned Kelly, if you don't know this, Chase, he's a legit OG. He was on my first live like 18 months ago. And he comes back to sometimes throw shade at me. And I kind of like it. I feel like he's good. Off to Disney says, we know that 6 out of the top 10 breakfasts are Denny's. Did you see this, Chase?
I did.
They're like the top 10. Yeah. They had like 20 different of the best places to eat for breakfast. I'm like, why are they all Denny's?
What is your favorite breakfast in Orlando though?
Man, it depends on the kind of mood that I'm in. Like Jeff's Bagel Run is like my bagel place, but like if I want like sit down place outside, it's like, either Three Birds Cafe, which I love. It's just like this little cafe in downtown Winter Garden, or like First Watch. Like I go to, and the First Watch is everywhere. Like it's basically like the new Disney or the new Denny's, right? They're just a classier one. What's over in Winter Park? I had that the other day for breakfast. That one you went to, Briar Patch.
Yeah,
that was on the list too, rightfully so. Like that place should be on the list. Denny's should not.
I love it. It's great, and then it's it's always very busy though. That's the part that sucks.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It's busy because it's good.
It's because it's good, exactly. All right, what other questions do we have? There we go. So Dominique says Altamont, and it is Altamont. Yes, you're an Orlandonian. It's Altamont, yeah.
Is it Altamont?
It's not Altamonte.
That's news to me.
I hear that. How do you call it?
I would call it Altamonte.
Are you serious?
Maybe I'm wrong though. I'll take that.
Do you say Altamonte Springs?
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
Well,
anyways,
then I'm wrong.
Castleberry and Longwood area. Do I see a rise in prices in that area? I think that those areas are really safely insulated for a lot of reasons. There's not a lot of new construction and there's not a lot of land left. And so those areas tend to do a little bit better because you have less competition from builders. And so I think that the rise in sort of like pricing everywhere in Orlando, I still believe that even though we're seeing kind of a market shift here, that I think that prices still go up 3 to 5%. Central Florida as a whole. Now, some of those outlying areas that have a lot of new construction options, like the Haines Cities and the Davenports and those kind of places, will start to see sort of a pullback because they're just not as popular. Do you hang out in Altamont or Longwood ever? Have you done any content up there?
Not really. I know we need to. I'm focused over in the top right, like near downtown.
Yeah.
And then Marissa's more like near Kissimmee.
That's right. Yeah, we need to spread our wings a little bit farther out there. Yeah. Ryder says, me and my wife went to Kissimmee Lakefront fireworks. So nice. We're new to the city of Orlando. Love it so far. Well, welcome to Orlando. Welcome to Kissimmee. Where'd you watch fireworks from last night, Chase?
From my back patio.
Was it good?
No. I live in an apartment complex. It was just a bunch of people lighting stuff in the parking lot, but we didn't go anywhere. Usually we go to my family's house in Palm Coast. They live on the beach, so we can watch it from there, but it's just being on a Monday.
Yeah. So you're from the coast originally?
Mm-hmm. Well, originally I'm from Stark, which is about 2.5 hours north of here, more central. And then my parents moved to Palm Coast later on, so that's where they are.
What would you say your favorite beach is on that side of the state?
I mean, I love where they are. Right over there, it's near. I don't know if you know where Marineland is. It's a very small. It's like a small little air. It's not really an aquarium, but you can like go swim with dolphins and stuff. But it's like a local smaller place.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't love about right where they are. I love like being able to access the beach. So honestly, that's where I am all the time if I am going to a beach.
Yep.
But there's a lot of rocks in that area, like big rocks. Mm-hmm. So like that kind of sucks sometimes, but I just love it over there. It's just beautiful.
Nice. I think it's a little chillier on that side. We prefer the Gulf side, but I've been looking for more and more beaches on the Atlantic side to kind of go to because we just to change it up. By the way, we've got a bunch of people here that are I know lifelong Orlandonians and Central Floridians. They're saying it's Altamont. No
I'll take
E.
It.
Okay. It's Altamont, not Altamonte. See, there we go.
From now on. From now on,
from here, from henceforth.
Yes,
it shall be known. But yeah, for sure. Let's see. We got a couple other questions here that I missed. Watched Magic Kingdom fireworks on the 3rd and Epcot on the 4th. So Sean, we got into Magic Kingdom on a whim. We were going to watch it from Polynesian, but they actually were selling wristbands. Did you hear this, Chase?
No.
So now, which is brilliant because I actually said this on my last live. I was like, hey, everybody, my favorite place to watch fireworks is actually at the Polynesian on the beach.
Perfect.
Because you can see the whole 180 degree over Magic Kingdom. It's awesome.
And they pump the audio in too.
They pump the audio in. They lower the lights. It's it's great. But they started selling wristbands and you could do I guess they were doing drinks and small bites on the beach and then selling, which is brilliant. Good for Disney figuring it out. I was a little bummed because I'm now my secret's out. But we actually snuck into Magic Kingdom on a whim. We got a reservation and it was good. We had good seats. We sat for 2 hours waiting for it to start because we didn't want to get behind some tree somewhere.
Yeah.
And it was our first time. It was really good. Highly recommend.
I miss the days where you can just kind of pop up. I remember whenever me and Chelsea, my girlfriend, we went to Magic Kingdom right after COVID had like given up a little bit, and they had opened the parks back up. Everybody still had to wear masks and everything, and I remember just like being able to set up for fireworks and it being so easy.
And there's nobody around.
No.
Like, not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken, that is a video on how to promote Altamont. Yeah, that's I guess true. Yeah, we'll see. Sean also says, let's see, Vero Beach is a great Atlantic beach. That's actually on the list. That Vero, New Smyrna are probably on our top 2 that we need to try first. I know Emily on our team goes to New Smyrna all the time and says how much she loves it. All right, we got a couple other things here. Let's see what else we got that I wanted to talk to. Oh, so I mean, speaking of travelers and like packing into a park, right? So thousands of travelers pack Orlando International Airport on the 4th of July. This isn't like a surprise. Like Orlando is one of the most visited places in the entire world. I heard the other day, I didn't believe this, but I like looked it up, that Venice, like actual Venice, not Venice Beach, but like Venice, just Walt Disney World gets more visitors, like 4 times as many visitors than Venice, which to me, like, I don't know, like kind of blew my mind. I had to like go back and reverse engineer how many visitors Disney actually gets. And they were saying like, obviously Venice is only 2 miles wide and Disney's huge, but like, I don't know. It's obviously a huge attraction.
I don't think it's surprising though. Like as much as it's like it hits you and you're like, whoa, but like, honestly, it's like, I feel like Disney's like the #1 tourist attraction in America.
It is. And we had, it looks like 1 million people fly in to Orlando International, which honestly, man, flights have been canceled so often lately. It's been getting like one thing after another. I feel like has been kind of rough. Have you flown lately, or haven't heard anybody from your family?
I have not flown since before COVID. My parents flew. They've been all over the place as soon as they could. So, but yeah, I don't think they've had any cancellations though. They've been very lucky. And my other family just came over from Germany. They just got married and came over, and I don't think they. I actually they did have some cancellations on their way back, and I think it took them like over like a full 24 hours to get back.
Oof, brutal, man. Brutal.
Yeah.
Mike says, can't wait to move to Orlando at the end of the month. Thanks to Ken's great team. Dude, welcome to Orlando. I'm so excited. That makes me so very happy. The amount of people that are like relocating here is like still insane. Like everybody's like, oh, you guys must really have seen a slowdown, but we really haven't. Like there's still people reaching out like crazy. Interest rates are like freaking some people out because just like the fear of the unknown. We actually have a video coming out either Saturday or next Tuesday about kind of like the market in general. But actually, let's talk about that real quick. So this is our market watch, kind of what's going on. For those of you that have watched one of my lives before, I do this just to give you a really clear-cut numbers and overview of like what's going on in our 5-county area. So this is over the past 7 days. There's been over 1,000 new listings, 1,069. And sold, there's been 1,100. And pending, there's like 937. So obviously, the more listings, if the number of listings is higher than the number of pendings, you're starting to see a bit of a shift towards a more buyer-friendly kind of thing, right? What we're looking for, we consider a balanced supply of 3 times as many listings as buyers, which seems crazy because it was like literally flipped just 2 months ago, where you had 4, 5, 6 times as many buyers for every listing. Super unhealthy, especially from like a long-term perspective. Chase, you got to hear all of our complaining.
Yeah.
For like.
But it looks like based on those stats though, that the price decreases are higher than they've been in a long time.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of price decreases right now. A lot of builders giving incentives, a lot of things happening. But like when we say price decreases, there's like a really important point of differentiation between the market going down and the market being stable and the market kind of like just barely increasing, right? So if we have just as many listings as buyers, then we're in a stable market, and the market will typically continue to go up 3-ish% a year, which is a really healthy, normal thing. Whereas when it's the inverse and the market's going up 20% a year, it's not. So the thing that we want to pay attention to is, okay, now do the pendings all of a sudden drop to like 500, or do they stay at 900 but the new listings are like 2000? That's
Mhm.
when you really start to see like an actual tangible difference of like what's actually going on in our market. And so that's why I like to bring this up all the time. So right now we're at a pretty darn balanced market, and then we get to see what happens next week and a couple weeks after that. So
Yeah.
it's interesting. One of the things, like, we talk about like a lot of the staff members buying houses and what that looks like. 2 months ago, like any normal person, it was really tough to buy a house because you had to put like $100,000 on top of your down payment, which is just not a realistic kind of thing for many, many people.
For me,
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
because I'm a buyer, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So then now you can actually go in and like, negotiate a deal and like buy a house. Like that's what an amazing thing that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm kind of stoked about it. I think, honestly, I think this is like an opportunity for more people. So we shall see.
I'm
One of the
stoked
things
about it.
you're stoked about it. Yeah. Let's get you a house for sure, man. One of the things I want to talk about in terms of like emerging areas that I've been talking about quite a bit. So Richland Communities activates first phase of Mineola's Sugarloaf Mountain. And so if you look here, you've got like Del Webb in the middle, but they've got all up and down Lake Apopka in Mineola. They've got 1,420 acres in Mineola, known as Sugarloaf Mountain, and the developer's getting ready to move forward. So you've got the hills of Mineola, a lot of other kind of like bigger developments out there. And the cool thing about it is you've got the toll roads going up and down this way. So it's actually much more accessible than you would actually think, knowing like that's an emerging area. And when I say an emerging, it just means like there's probably only one Publix instead of 5. And like you're not going to see a massive amount of like those things that we talked about earlier in the show, like about in Celebration, how there's all of a sudden all of these things that you can shop at. It took a while for those to show up. So that's kind of here. And the cool thing about these is that many of these houses are starting in like the 400s, the high 3s, low 4s. And so you're able to get maybe just a little bit further out, but then you get an affordable house in the new construction vibes. I think that's good. You're also only like, you're equidistant between like downtown Claremont and downtown Winter Garden. So you're like a really good spot to have to drive and get those things. I don't know. What do you think, man?
I want to be over in Claremont bad.
Do you? Yeah,
I love that area. It just feels totally different, you know, because I live very close to downtown. I live in Azalea Park, so you know, I'm close to. It's all busy over here, and for some people, you know, that's great. But for me, I just prefer that like more. I don't know. You're just kind of out there in Claremont. Whenever you get to those hills, I love it out there.
Yeah, me too. I think I keep saying like the Claremont, Groveland, Mineola, that whole area, especially Claremont. You're right. It's like that's the next frontier for Central Florida. You've got, just like you said, you've got the lakes, which the lakes aren't going away. That's just going to get better and better. You've got like some hills, so you've got some topography, which is beautiful, and then just plenty of land for people to build everything on, which I think is cool. Yep. Brian asked me, what are my thoughts on Canyons at Highlands Ranch by Taylor Morrison in Claremont? We actually have a bunch of clients building there right now. One of the things I would say is that like all of the builders, including Taylor Morrison, have kind of like got ahead of themselves on sales, and so they're really catching up on the labor shortage, the supply shortage, all those kind of things. So we have a lot of clients that were promised one thing in terms of timing, and then it took them a few months, if not 4 or 5 months longer than they anticipated. It does seem as though that as this market is not as white hot as it was 6 months ago, that they're starting to catch up, which I think is good. But overall, Taylor Morrison's a good builder. In comparison, especially to many of the other ones we're working with. Ridgeview is nice. That's where my man is buying, from what I hear. All right, let's see. Finally catching the live, watching from Long Island, New York, thinking Winter Garden for our forever home. Well, we'd love to help you, man. Let us know if you have any questions as you're kind of going through the process. That's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't realize, Chase, is that like we put out the Orlando Reel every week. Now we're putting it out multiple times a week, and like just trying to help people discover Orlando. It's not just like, let me sell you a house. Here's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Like, let me help you discover your lifestyle. Let us help you discover Central Florida and like why we think it's awesome. And then whether you're looking to buy today or 5 years from now, like, you know, reach out. We want to help.
Absolutely. It's completely separate. You posted it the other day on your story, and I need to go check it out. It's it's that little speakeasy bar that like serves non-alcoholic stuff.
Yeah. Like they've got like mocktails and that kind of stuff as well. I kind of want to check it out, man. All those little things, like, I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's super cool. I mean,
There's so many tiny little areas around where you can find just like so much interesting stuff. And until you like go there, walk around it, experience it, you don't get to see everything. And like that's what we're trying to bring through the content that we're making. It's just like this is what this area is actually like outside of, hey, Orlando is about theme parks. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like which we're most of us are all massive theme park fans, and yet
Yeah.
we're not there every single day. And so it's like, what do you do on the days that you're not at Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, Legoland, Gatorland, like whatever, right? Although I'm at Disney probably once a week at this point, but but it's the other 6 days a week that you got to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm going to answer maybe 2 more questions, and then we're going to wrap up. Chase and I just wanted to jump on and say hi, happy Tuesday afternoon, and try this format out. So let me know in the comments below if you like having guests on. We're thinking maybe Chase comes on a little bit more often. We bring on maybe an agent from my team or a local business owner or maybe a past client, talk about their experience, or just talk about like, now we've moved to Orlando, how's life been? You know, what was our expectations versus what was reality? And I think that would be kind of a cool piece. So let's see. All right. So man, I just had 2 of them that I was going to look at. Okay. So Rajiv says, how is St. Cloud for buying a house, currently renting near UCF? I mean, I think St. Cloud is another one of those. You got Claremont off to the west, St. Cloud off to the east. Both have so much land and availability to them. Claremont's a little easier to get to because like the toll roads are already there. A lot of the major roads are already there. Whereas St. Cloud is a little bit more stuffed over there. Like, dude, have you to drive through St. Cloud? Or
I'm not really over there often.
yeah, I mean, it's tougher. Like, so now they've got the new Osceola Park extension going in. There's a few other major roads that are going to help kind of St. Cloud. I think give it another year or 2 and St. Cloud's going to really take off. But I think right now it's just harder to get to. And so it's like not on people's short list, but you get a lot more value there. Like literally, like we sold a house in Sunbridge last week, and the same exact house 5 minutes away in Lake Nona, 10 minutes away in Lake Nona was an extra $120,000.
Crazy.
It's crazy, right? Now you've got like schools are coming, right? Like there's some areas they don't exist right now. And so there's a lot of things to talk through, but the savings, it could be massive for some people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see. I'm sorry, buddy. Like, it is like, it's like, but sometimes there's like, anyways. Let's see. There's one more person. Do those figures include condos, apartments, or just single family? I think you're talking about over in Mineola. That would just be single family houses over there. Single families, condos, and townhomes. I talk about apartments, but we don't help renters per se. It's just a whole different kind of sector of the business that we don't really help out with. But yeah, there's that many houses coming to that Mineola area, so there's that much land. It's kind of wild. Last thing is Riva says, I don't hear much about Apopka. Is this an up and coming thing or area? Any big things coming to this area? Yeah, we did a whole video on it, actually, if you check out in our channel. So Apopka is like one of those areas. If you know what's crazy? It won't let me share my full screen to where I can use my Google map anymore. But let me just show you why I think Apopka's like on the come up. Let's see. For one, you've got the springs, which are ridiculously beautiful. Have you been to this yet?
I've been to some of the springs. I went to go film one day and I went to an area where there was so many people. So I was just like, I'm not going to film it
Kings
today.
Landing?
Yeah.
Kings Landing is giant.
It's beautiful out there though. I mean,
it really is. So you've got, so here's Apopka. You've got, city of Orlando. So just north of it is Apopka. You got Lake Apopka, which is, I think, the 3rd largest lake in Florida. Somebody told me the other day. Just south of it's Winter Garden, and then off to the west is everything we've been talking about, Claremont, Mineola, and that kind of thing. So, anyways, Apopka, you've got the 429 runs right through it, and you've got Wekiwa Springs State Park. You've got a lot of really cool things that protect Apopka. And so because of that, people are getting drawn into that. Now there's a lot of old like greenhouses and a lot of other like farms that have now been shuttered, and they're building neighborhoods next to them or on them. And so, you're seeing a lot of stuff come to that area just from because of the proximity. Like this is one of the things that like as affordability becomes an issue, like people get pushed out. And I think because of that, Apopka is going to continue to do really well. So, all right, buddy, let's wrap it up. It's been 30 minutes. Thanks for hanging out.
of course. Loved it.
Cool, man. Let us know again in the comments below if this is something you guys like, or if you have any questions for future videos. Like your comments, we literally take your comments and we create and curate our content around what you guys are after. So make sure you let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you guys on the next video. See you later.
See you guys.